Welcome to episode of Potion Sword Run. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and whether or not it is a GOONER game. First of all, that word is stupid. I hate using it. I'm not going to use it no more because I feel stupid using it. Anyways, the religious grifters will have you think that Kingdom Come Deliverance has sodomy, where your character, Henry, can have gay relations with another character called Hans. Now, supposedly Hans, to them, is an underage kid, 15 years old when the game takes place. They got their information from the codex, supposedly. Now, if you look at the codex, it describes pretty much his whole life, but in a certain spot, it has some numbers. It says 1388 to 1419, and it has a question mark on that 1388. So whenever those events took place, it's still up in the air. However, John F. Trent and Fandom Pulse, who I believe were nominated for Best Journalist at the Real Game Awards, assumed because of the dates on there that Hans was born in 1388, even though it has a question mark, and even though it doesn't say this is his birthday, and even though it doesn't say this is when he was born and this is when he perished. All it does is describe the little paragraph down below. But to them, that was enough to solidify what they wanted to think. And that was that Hans was underage and 15 at the time when they did a little romance dance. Because apparently, Kingdom Come Deliverance takes place in 1403. That's when the events start. Do the math, 1403 minus 1388, it comes out to 15. Now, first of all, I'm impressed they even know how to do math. Second, I'm not surprised they don't understand logic, because everybody who actually plays the game says that Henry is about the same age as Hans. And Henry isn't 15, he's in his 20s. He's not a child. But when the grifters accuse Daniel directly of child PDF, again, they misstrued what the facts are, because they lack critical thinking skills. Lars, if you decide you want to make love with Hans in KCD2, you're committing PDF because Hans is 15 years old. You cannot even make up stuff like that. Daniel Vavra. Imagine that women at that time were married at the age of 12 and had children. Also, they needed witnesses during first sex. If you're aiming for historical accuracy, why are there no children in the game? Because they could be killed? Killing them is bad, but having sex with them is fine? Okay, bud. So, there's no children? But Capone is a child? You seem kinda lost. So Capone is the only child in the game, and coincidentally, it is possible to have sex with him. You were lost when you designed the game. Now, according to all the grifters, the ones that want to believe this made up a controversy, this is Daniel Vavra confessing that Capone is a child, where in fact, nowhere did he do that. The only thing that he is doing is rephrasing what Lars just said, pretty much showing him that he's making no logical sense. Because first, he claims that Capone is a child, obviously 15, right? Then he goes and accuses Daniel that if he wanted to make an accuracy game, then why are there no children in the game? So Lars, what is it? Child or is he not? That is all that Daniel's pointing out. So there's no children, but Capone is a child? You seem kind of lost. So on the one hand, you can't be accusing Daniel Vavra and the game studio of having a child, Capone, in there, 15 years old, and being able to romance him, and at the same time tell him that his game is not historically accuracy because there's no children in it. That is all that this tweet thread is explaining. But these grifters lack critical thinking skills, and they see this as a confirmation that the only child in the game is Capone and you can romance him. Where it's clear as day, nowhere did he say that. But to these grifters, that is enough. Especially those who operate the Fandom Pulse and the Park Place as well. Both of them which got nominated for the Real Game Awards Best Journalist. But the thing about this controversy isn't, spread around all grifters. It's only the religious ones. John F. Trent, John Della Rose, especially John Della Rose because he got buried by Daniel Vavra recently, for being a furry and for allegedly domestic violence against his spouse. We have Melanie Mack acting all crazy and saying that she knew this was gonna happen. Being able to have gay relations or porn always leads to PDF. Melanie Mack. First they normalize porn, then they normalize sodomy, then they try to normalize pedophilia. Can't you see? All perversion leads to this. It all comes from Satan, and inserting this in our entertainment is a method of normalization. Wake up! And everybody out there knows that porn does not lead to anything but more porn. Maybe divorce. But definitely, if you're looking at regular porn, you're not interested in children. But for some reason, these warped minds of these religious grifters always go there. When in fact, the truth is, a lot of the people in the religious sector are the ones doing the especially in the Catholic Church, especially priests and damn bishops and freaking pastors and shit. You can't trust them. In fact, the church that I went to, a Baptist church back in the day when I was younger, the pastor ended up getting arrested for molesting his own daughter. She was adopted. But the thing is, he used to pick us all up in a van, to take us to church and stuff. And, he was always around children. And, Now, when it comes to the other grifters, they stayed clear away from this controversy because it looks made up. And there is no solid proof behind it. It's all speculation. And they don't want to come out looking stupid like the rest of them. But one of them did, and that was Grummz. Grummz! Patch the history page, or patch the see now. That way the game isn't ambiguous. One way or the other, this has to be fixed. Grummz, are you dumb? This guy's in his 20s in the game. He is based off a person. Having a history page and a glossary is not the character in the game. And because there was no controversy and, Grummz started to see it based on all the responses that he was getting, he decided to delete his tweet. It was up for only 34 minutes. I had to backtrack on my page just to get this screenshot. Every time I did, I kept on saying post was deleted. But finally I got it after the third backtrack. And again, it just goes to show that these guys don't stand by their convictions. They see a controversy and they try to jump on it because that's all they do. In fact, this is a made up controversy because that's all they do. So even Grummz see that this is a nothing burger made up by the religious grifters, and they started to run with it because they get offended by the buttons that you control. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Remember, always be kind to yourself and enjoy your life. And I'll meet you right there. Peace.